Roman Reigns is the new World Heavyweight Champion.
JRW live. Hit the aisle, stack the card, chase that rare one, play it smart. Bobby Joe right by his side. JRW live ride. JRW live, let's go. Toy hunting shows on the road, figure reviews, bold predictions too. WW week breaking it through.
This is the setup review of WrestleMania 42 Night 2. And starting off, this show was so much better than Night 1. They kicked out the show with the host, John Cena, coming out just like yesterday, introducing us to WrestleMania, talking about how yesterday was a great show. It was a decent show. Introducing us to WrestleMania, and then introduced to the start of the show, the first match, Wwe Wrestlemania versus Brock Lesnar. Wwe Wrestlemania had an awesome entrance, and then Brock Lesnar had his beast of an entrance. And then this match wasn't super long, but Brock Lesnar matches aren't super long. Brock Lesnar at first tried dominating Wwe Wrestlemania, and Wwe Wrestlemania was just eating these clotheslines like it was nothing. And then they went out of the ring, and Brock Lesnar started dominating. Got Wwe Wrestlemania in the ring, was throwing around like he was nothing with the German suplex. Hit him with the F5. But then that did not stop Wwe Wrestlemania. Wwe Wrestlemania started dominating, hitting those running uppercuts to the corner of the ring. And hits the giant choke slam on Brock Lesnar. Hits the giant powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Wwe Wrestlemania beats Brock Lesnar pretty much like it was nothing in like 5 or 6 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I honestly thought Brock was going to win. And then still it makes Wwe look good. But Brock wins. But Wwe Wrestlemania wins. They're totally pushing him to the moon. And then Wwe leaves. Brock's sitting there. And I'm like, what's going on here? And Brock starts taking off his gloves. He takes off his boots. I'm like, there's no way. Brock Lesnar retires. He takes his boots and gloves off, and while he's taking his boots off, Brock Lesnar's crying. I'm like, I've never seen Brock Lesnar cry. And he gets up. He has his gloves off, no shoes. He's going around the ring, putting his arms up, thanking the crowd. The crowd starts saying, thank you, Brock. Thank you, Lesnar. Paul Heyman gets in the ring, and he's just bawling, bro. I've never seen Paul Heyman cry like this. I'm like, oh my God, this is for real. He's definitely retired. They hug it out. Paul Heyman holds up Brock Lesnar's arm. They walk out together crying. I'm like, oh my God, this is sad. I'm like, when I started watching wrestling, Brock Lesnar was the beast. He dominated everybody. He was always champion. I'm like, this is crazy. The past 6 months, John Cena, AJ Styles, now Brock Lesnar retires. And I know some people are saying, oh, I don't believe it. Seeing Paul Heyman, how he was crying and stuff, and Brock was crying, it's definitely real. I cannot believe it. Thank you, Brock Lesnar, for an insane, I think I saw on social media, 24-year career. Absolutely insane. And Paul Heyman was a part of that whole ride all along, which is crazy. Then it was time for the men's Intercontinental Championship ladder match, which was absolute chaos. Javon Evans did some crazy stuff, doing a giant OG cutter from the corner of the ring, catching Rusev from the ladder, cuttering him absolutely crazy. Rey Mysterio went through a ladder onto Rusev, absolutely insane as well. I thought Rey was going to die because he hit his head on that ladder, like really hard. Freaking Penta hit a Mexican Destroyer off the ladder, onto another ladder to JD McDonough. Dragon Lee did some cool stuff, but probably was the weakest performance out of this whole match. But at the end of the day, Penta retains the Intercontinental Championship in a 6-man ladder match. That is so rare for a champion to retain in a 6-man ladder match. But Penta retains. Penta's a beast. He's so red hot. He's so over. Why take the title off him? Penta retains at WrestleMania 42, looking like a beast. I'm assuming he holds this title for quite a while now. But all I know is this Intercontinental ladder match was absolutely chaos and it was great. What an insane match. And that was just the first 2 matches, and it was better than the whole entire WrestleMania Night 1. I know in my setup review I said 7 out of 10. I take that back. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for WrestleMania Night 1. Then Trick Williams and Sami Zayn went one-on-one for the United States Championship. Little Yachty had a really cool introduction for Trick Williams, and then Trick Williams had a crazy entrance coming out with this insanely long, the whole rampway long white cape thing. It was insane. Sami's gear was okay, but Trick Williams' entrance was awesome. But this match was pretty decent. Wasn't super long. Wasn't short. It wasn't like short, but it wasn't like long. It felt like just the right amount of time. But Sami tried hitting the haluva kick. Little Yachty got involved and took out Sami. And then Trick Williams hit his running V-trigger knee. 1, 2, 3. Trick Williams is the new United States champion. Thank God Sammy Hogan's no longer champion. I still will die on this hill that this should have been Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. There was no need of giving Sami this match. He's had plenty of moments. It's so stupid that Sami got this match. It should have been Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams putting on a great match. But whatever. It doesn't matter. Trick Williams is the new United States champion, and that's all that matters because Sami Zayn is no longer champion. Thank God. Then the Demon Finn Balor went one-on-one with Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom having an insane entrance, being lifted up, being carried on this giant thrown by a bunch of other luchadors. It was crazy. The Demon Finn Balor heading one of the most badass Demon Finn Balor entrances ever. So freaking cool. He had like a heart that he grabbed and everything. So cool. And then he had the staff as well. The paint on him and everything was fantastic. Mattel lock-in, make a figure of it. It looked so good. This match ended up being a street fight. Originally it was announced as a normal match, but it turned into they ended up switching it to a street fight today, live on ESPN. And then this match, honestly, wasn't super long. It was about 10 minutes, something like that. But they killed each other with the kendo stick and stuff. But Finn Balor ended up picking up the victory by putting the coup de rest stomp onto Dirty Dom through the table to pick up the victory. 1, 2, 3. In my opinion, I felt like this match could have been a little longer. 10 minutes. I wish it was a little longer than it was. But Finn Balor, seeing him in the demon gear, was so cool. And it was awesome to see Finn Balor get a big dub at WrestleMania. I don't think he's won like in forever. I'm like, last time we saw the Demon Finn Balor was at WrestleMania 39 and he lost. So seeing the Demon Finn Balor winning was awesome. Then it was time for the Women's World Title match, or Women's WWE Undisputed Championship, or whatever they call it. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's gear was really cool too. That'd be a cool figure as well, that all white gear. Jade Cargill had a crazy looking entrance gear. But this match actually surprised me. I thought this match was going to be trash. And actually, they did a pretty good job. But they gave them time to wrestle, unlike they did for Stephanie McCarry and Liv Morgan yesterday. Yesterday, their match felt so rushed. This match felt like the good amount of time. Meat and B-Fab tried to get involved, and then it came down. Io Sky took out B-Fab and Meat, and then Rhea Ripley hit it in the Riptide on Jade Cargill. 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley is the new Women's WWE Champion, celebrating with her friend Io Sky. And thank God Jade Cargill's boring reign is over, and we have a good champion like Rhea Ripley. I know some people are starting to get tired of Rhea Ripley, but she's a good wrestler, unlike Jade Cargill. Like, you got to have the good wrestlers be the champions. This whole moment was insane, and just, it was so goofy that it was funny, but it was also stupid. But so John Cena comes down and announces the attendance, and then the Miz interrupts him, and Kit Wilson comes out with the Miz. And Miz is like, I need my WrestleMania moment. Last year I was screwed. I didn't have a WrestleMania moment. I'm having a WrestleMania moment. And John Cena's like, all right, you can have a WrestleMania moment. Go ahead. And then Danhausen's music hits. And he comes out in the Danhausen mobile, which was hysterical. And then a bunch of tiny Danhausen, mini Danhausens, they come down to the ring. And they're all standing in a line. There was like 10 of them in front of Kit Wilson and Miz, just like this. John Cena's like laughing. He couldn't keep a straight face. He's like, what the hell is this? Danhausen goes up to John Cena. Huge fan, shakes his hand, and then, like, John Cena's just smiling and nodding. And then Danhausen unleashes one of the mini Danhausens. He punches Kit Wilson right in the nuts, and then he punches the Miz right in the nuts. Danhausen punched the Miz in the nuts. And then all the little mini Danhausens take away the Miz like they're about to sacrifice him. Like, this is straight out like a Minions movie. Like, there was 10 of them carrying the Miz up the WrestleMania ramp, up to the WrestleMania stage. It was so... I was laughing my ass off, not gonna lie. To the mini Danhausens carrying the Miz. Kit Wilson rolls out of the ring. And Miz, before he gets carried away, Danhausen hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me. John Cena lets him do it. He hits the 5-knuckle shuffle. You can't see me on Miz. Then they carry away the Miz. Kit Wilson rolls out of the ring, and Danhausen goes up to John Cena and says, you can't see me. And his little spark of smoke goes, and he doesn't disappear. He just rolls out of the ring, and the camera follows him crawling under the ring. It was so stupid that it was funny. And John Cena's in the ring just like, he totally breaks character. He's just dying laughing. And he's like, I just love this hosting job. And then that was the whole thing. So this was much better than, obviously yesterday was really cool for Bianca Belair announcing she's having a baby with Montez Ford. But this was funny as hell. It's like one of those comedy movies that are so stupid that it's funny. This was this whole skit like explained. Like, if I had to explain it, it's a comedy movie that's so stupid that was funny. We got all that funny stuff out of the way, and then it was time for the main event. CM Punk and Roman Reigns put on an instant classic. So if you're subscribed to the channel, you've been watching for a long time, you know I'm a D1 Roman Reigns hater. I've hated Roman Reigns literally since I started watching wrestling in 2016. I've hated him since then, but I gotta admit it. Roman Reigns and CM Punk put on a banger. Punk was bleeding like crazy. Roman was putting it all on the line. These guys killed it. This was a 30-plus banger of a match. And this is the match that Cody and Orton should have had, but they had to involve Pat McAfee and stuff. But I know people are hating on the Cody Orton match. I still think the match was actually not that bad. But this match was way better. Punk hitting an insane elbow drop from the top rope all the way through the announce table, taking out Roman Reigns. The only thing I have against this match, am I the only one that thought this was a one-on-one normal match? Why was Roman allowed to hit CM Punk in the head with a steel chair? Like, I thought this was just a normal match. Like, that should have been a disqualification. So that's the only thing I have against this match. But then Punk started bleeding from that. Punk also, when the ref wasn't looking, hit a low blow on Roman Reigns, hit him with the GTS, and Roman still kicked out. I'm like, are you kidding me? Roman kicks out of that? But they absolutely tear the house down, putting on an absolute banger of match. I'm like, this match was, it by far best match of the whole WrestleMania. I'm like, it was insane. I'm like, every time I thought it was over, they kept on kicking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. CM Punk, though, literally used every single bits of energy he had in him, hit another GTS, went for a second one, he collapses, and then he goes to slap Roman, and like, he falls over. Roman gets up, spears Punk, and then hits another spear on Punk, and then 1, 2, 3, we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. Roman Reigns has dethroned CM Punk. What a reign for CM Punk. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't super long. It was like 4 or 5 months. But damn, CM Punk had some banger matches, and this one was an absolute banger. And honestly, this was the first good Roman Reigns match. They had no shenanigans, no involvements. Like, it's just a good one-on-one professional wrestling match, and this was a banger. And I don't like Roman Reigns. If you're subscribed to the channel, you know my history. I hate Roman Reigns. I'm the guy that put the trash can on Roman Reigns' head at WrestleMania 39 and then threw the figure in the review. Also, this past Royal Rumble, I had the trash can on his head for the review. I got to give him respect. This was a great match, and I'm annoyed that Roman's the champ because I know this title is not going to be on TV all the time because Roman's never on TV, but I got to give him respect. This was a fantastic match, and it was really cool, and I'm not too upset with Roman winning the world title, but it's still annoying that he's never going to be on TV. But besides that, this show, this just knocks yesterday right out of the park. This was so good. Like, I'm going to give this show a 9 out of 10. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It was so good. I gave WrestleMania 40 Night 2 a 10 out of 10 back in that show. I've never given it a 10 out of 10 before. I'm not giving the show a 10 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, but I'm definitely giving it a 9 out of 10. I was so entertained. And I got to say, craziest thing of the whole show, Brock Lesnar retired. Holy, what a career. I still remember the day. The moment the key wrestling moment I remember, probably my first wrestling moment, is when Brock Lesnar busted open Randy Orton in the main event of SummerSlam 2016. I remember that so well. I remember like it was yesterday. So I cannot believe Brock Lesnar retired. I'm going to miss him, watching him. I know some people didn't like him, but I loved Brock Lesnar. There was times I was annoyed with Brock Lesnar, but I loved watching him. But what a WrestleMania. WrestleMania 42. As an all of night 1 and night 2, it was a good WrestleMania. You guys can hate on night 1 all you want. Night 1 was mediocre, but night 2 was amazing. So if I'm going to give night 1 and night 2 an overall grade, out of 10, I'm going to give it because I gave night 1 a 6 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give this a full WrestleMania a 7.5 out of 10. Last year's WrestleMania was a solid 4.5 at max, 5 out of 10. This show was so much better than last year's WrestleMania. Honestly, I'm going to give last year's WrestleMania was a 4.5 out of 10. This year's was a 7 out of 10. Maybe 7.5 out of 10 for all WrestleMania 42 combined. But this WrestleMania Night 2 was fantastic. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell because we post every single day on this YouTube channel here at Jared B Live. And this coming week, we got some great content of new figures coming in. And the next weekend, we got the Chicago Toy Show. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.